So, Anna, here we are. It is January 18th at 11:16 p.m. on the eve of the TikTok ban.
We had a great, couple of videos 5 minutes ago, and they're gone. And I'm just like, I really wanted to touch down on those.
We were going to do some reaction content to, what's her name, Blackheart?
Little Lil, Little Blackheart, and also Nala Ray.
Yeah.
Those were the couple that came up. Mm-hmm. What Little Blackheart was saying was so, on point.
Yeah.
Of a regular 304. Here's the thing. There's regular 304s, then there's the ones that are high dollar. They're $10,000 a day, and these
10,000 a day, jeez.
I can see that.
Oh,
you ever seen Bunny XO's body?
No,
I can see it.
Who is that?
Bunny XO is Jelly Roll's wife.
Oh, okay. She's not.
She
really?
was, yeah. She's
had a lot of surgery though. Hasn't she?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, that's neither here nor there.
But I don't think so. I think that she just got good dang genes.
She seems like a really good person.
She's a great person. So, yeah. She has got a heart of gold. You can tell just by talking to her that she's so down to earth and she's so in love with that man. And it's
well, he's really talented too. Jelly Roll's a really talented guy.
But he wasn't famous. He had nothing.
Famous, but he had the talent.
I've seen people with talent and tried to pick them up and put them together like Mr. Potato Head.
Like Mr. Potato Head, putting the lips and the eyes on. Yeah.
I tried to build a bro workshop.
yeah. But normally
normally the guy don't show appreciation back.
Right, and normally the first.
But look at her.
They'll tell a guy like that is, hey, you got to lose weight before you can be famous. But with Jelly Roll, they go, no, just sing, buddy, and.
Even it seems like it's taken away from him losing that weight. He lost some weight.
Yeah, but
because that's what we're used to.
He's famous without losing the weight, and that's inspiring to people who maybe have trouble losing weight.
I love me some Jelly Roll because his songs just hit home about real white trash. They're kind of like he's kind of like a second Eminem, but on a different genre of just telling it the way it is.
Yeah, well, like Eminem, I'm straight out the trailer as well. So, I grew up in Alabama in trailer parks. So,
like Eminem, I'm straight out the trailer too.
Right, we're both trailer trash. Straight
out the trailer, out the, but those experiences that those people that don't have them, I almost feel sorry for them.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
Because when they get into a pinch, they don't know what to do. Us hustlers, we can make it work, in any kind of way. If your business went down today, you could figure something out.
Oh, it's gone down several times.
And you figure something out like that.
Something out. Yeah.
So that's but even coming up in the trailer park, I feel like I was very green coming up, even though I did, because I had my sister to protect me, and when she died I was on my own.
Yeah.
So that's where, at 16, I was left without my big sister that was always there. I didn't even have to think for myself.
Right.
I didn't have to have hard times. She saved me. And so I came out of the trailer park very green when I shouldn't have been.
Right.
I came out very innocent-minded.
Mm-hmm.
So, TikTok ban. They're saying it's going to come back up when Trump is in office.
Well, that's speculation. He does have financial incentive to, because one of his biggest donors and advisors owns a big part of TikTok.
The other day they were talking about Elon Musk. Who knows? We'll just, you know what? We can live without it. We have Lemon 8.
Yeah.
LEMON and the number 8.
There's going to be something that comes up that's just like
it's fueled by TikTok. I signed in with my TikTok account.
They're probably just reading a cookie on your computer.
It looks like the same dang videos that TikTok has.
Yeah.
I haven't posted anything there because
I don't know what it is. I haven't seen it.
I just learned how to post on TikTok, and now they're doing this to me.
Yeah.
And I had a couple haters, which was fine, to be expected. I just feel like I understand now.
Yeah.
Our grandfather's not like they used to be. I didn't have one, so.
Yeah.
And some guy said she probably didn't have a father or a grandfather. That's false. I had a mother and a father until the day they died, and they stayed together till I was 16. So that is definitely, we may have been poor, but I had both parents in the house.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know, we moved just with the parents, so.
Right.
But, but in the biblical days, when women and men stayed married for 50, 70 years till death do you part, literally, it was, don't talk like that to a lady ever.
You're right.
Don't you ever let me catch you talking that way to a woman.
My grandpa would slap me silly.
So when these guys were like, my grandpa would call out a hoe, my grandpa didn't. Well, this is why you're like you are. There's something that you're missing. I didn't have a grandfather, and well, if your parents knew you did what you did, well, they probably heard rumors. They didn't really know. No. So, I mean, my dad knew I wasn't like a virgin.
Yeah.
But I don't think he knew the level that this thing would keep coming at me. I actually was a madam, and he knew that.
Oh, okay.
He knew my madam stage. I had an apartment next to his, so I couldn't really hide it.
That would be tough to hide.
Yeah.
How did he react? Did you guys talk about
He
it?
sat down in the in the dining room at the table and was eating, and I'm like, Dad, you gotta go. There's someone upstairs. Well, maybe they think I'm doing what they're doing. I'm gonna eat my dinner. My dad was a trip, and I always give him a few $100s here and there.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of money in running an escort service in 2008, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
I stopped in January of 12. There wasn't a lot.
So that video that we were watching, she went through some finer points of the do's and don'ts, and there was a few things. Obviously, we don't have the video, so we can't react to it. But
that was a good video.
What you want to walk through some of her points? It was a great video. You want to walk through some of her points that she made?
Yes.
Okay.
She said, if you don't have an end game, if you're not here to stack your cash, 7 or 8 years are going to go by, and you're just going to be in this lifestyle. You're going to be just clubbing it up and partying. Do a lot of your hair and makeup is something I didn't get because I don't do my own nails. The heck with that. But I don't do hair and makeup, so.
The nails aren't that expensive.
She said that way when you go somewhere, you look like a high class. I don't want to look like anything but like who I am, I guess. I think it's the tomboy in me.
Yeah.
And also, I don't present myself that way. I have, my kids know, they've heard rumors and things through the 2 decades. Mm-hmm. So to keep it under wraps like I have, they know, but they don't want to know kind of thing.
Right.
But she talked about, the dangers of it all, the scary situations, and how she's doing it to provide for her music career, where she's a DJ. Which to me is equivalent. What you may as well be a stripper. It's a lifestyle right there in the club. It's a bad environment.
Yeah.
It fuels this thing, and then she talks about being drained. She talks about being mentally strong. She talks about being on stuff. But mentally, let me tell you, she talked about your family turning on you.
Right.
She talked about so any of those points, your friends turning on you. You're going to be talked about. You're going to be, they're just going to.
You're going to catch hate.
If they're out there promiscuous, they're getting more love than you are. And that you're dirty, you're diseased. Even though it's pretty clear that 304s are cleaner than, what does she call, square people.
Yeah, square people. Well,
squares.
that was another video she had that we stumbled on, where she was talking about STDs, and she says that.
Yeah, that was another video.
Yeah, you guys know how to navigate the system. You guys know what works and what doesn't to keep it clean.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, and I didn't think about it that way, but she might be right. I don't have.
Oh no, we know.
No,
there's years. I'm years in, and I know. I can tell you for a fact. I just got my test done less than 2 weeks ago, and I showed you I don't have, how do you escape with it? Because you just care about yourself.
Yeah.
There's ways that you can get stuff, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt about that. But why?
Yeah.
It's the rule of thumb. You take care of yourself. You come first. Right. I know that it's rude, but I tell people I care about myself more than I care about you.
Mm-hmm.
But I often have heard if a woman doesn't care about herself, she won't care about you.
I think that's true.
So
you have to have a level of respect for yourself.
But mentally strong. So I was on TikTok and someone was like saying that it was the video of where they lined these, what I was saying, they lined these women up to insult them. Well, they're there on their own free will, and they know what they're in for. They want to get money to be insulted, and they're not victims, he said.
Not victims.
That's
Who?
what I wanted to talk about.
Like, who decides that? Who makes that decision?
Well, because before they get there, who knows what they went through?
Right.
And was it an hour before? Was it a week before? Were they threatened? You know, if you have a pimp and he says, look, he's got 8 women working with him. They're all being beaten and scared. Look at, gosh, I'm jumping around. How many children are kidnapped at 14 and forget their names by the time they're 20?
Right. And
They forget their names.
Yeah, and the darkest side of what
But then they're living their best life. They have you know, they were the bottom bitch of the month, so they have this Louis bag over here, and then they're giggling, ha ha ha. So how do you know what a victim is when you really don't know a damn thing? Yeah. It really upset me. Like, you don't know if they were. Everybody wants love, even me. Everybody wants love.
Right.
I've yearned for it my entire life. So. Yeah. When it's presented to you, sometimes you have to take what you can get, kind of like the Build-A-Bro workshop. You know, but in this case, I could never see a pimp, but I didn't know I was pimped until after I was pimped. And it was like in 9 years, it was a
sneaky
silent pimp. It was a mind game player, and it was never abusive physically, but it was the worst ever. So I can see these girls getting threatened. And okay, let me just say, how many girls have been on the Whatever podcast? It's kind of getting played out because people are just over it. What if this one girl was with her boyfriend and she didn't want to get on there because she's camera shy?
Right.
I don't really want to put my face on there. I don't put it on my ads. I don't put it in my, on my OnlyFans. Right. I don't put it in anything.
Right.
Bitch, you're going to get on that show. And it's a week to the show, and she gets a really good whooping.
Oh, wow. She
heals herself up, and she goes on that show. And she giggles, and she laughs, and she talks about all these crazy fantasies. And is that not a victim?
I mean, that is a victim. And I think also somebody that goes on there and gets blindsided by the kind of hate they throw out, I think that's also a victim. Like they may not realize before they go exactly what they're walking into, and they're walking into a hostile situation because that guy on that whatever podcast is not their friend. It does not have their best.
It's almost like he has a demon inside him.
Probably does. He's got something wrong with him.
He claims to be Christian. He's trying to throw Christianity at Brian. So I try to take that and I try to see the best in Andrew Wilson. But it's almost like he has this demon inside of him. Yeah. It's like something's really in there. And it's just itching to come out at the first moment that he can jump on someone. It's, I don't see why his, why his wife doesn't say, can't you just... But you know what? If he was nicer, no one would watch, right?
Well, if it came out tomorrow that he was a serial killer, I would not be surprised if he was freaking Jack the Ripper.
If he was killing prostitutes.
He's got that energy, man. Like, he's got that hate. And I'm like, ain't you got better things to do? And
I think he's getting money for it. Yeah.
He's making money doing it.
I don't know about his Christianity because, like I've said before, only God knows his heart with God. Does he call these girls names and then go and get on his knees and repent for it and know that he did wrong? Like, it's obviously wrong.
Yeah.
But my granddaddy would have called a whore a whore. My granddaddy would have... maybe that's the problem with you, is that your granddaddy was that way. Yeah.
Maybe your granddad's a piece of crap.
Then you didn't have one of the really good granddads that taught men manners.
Yeah.
So it's a different day and age.
And how everyone,
ladies and gentlemen, it's so disrespectful.
That drug addict in the gutter deserves your respect just as much as anyone.
And man, I hope I can help that drug addict in the gutter, honestly.
Yeah.
That would be just, it would just change.
Yeah.
I would know that I was doing God's will, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because I know that I'm still a working girl, and it's not that I feel great about it. It's that the choices that I have are so slim.
You know, a core tenet of the teachings of Christ and the person and the personality of Christ, he didn't go to those who looked like they didn't need it. He went to the ones that needed it. He went to Mary Magdalene. He went to the tax collector. He went to the low.
Right.
Like he went to, although not physically, he went to Paul, and Paul considers himself to be the worst. You know, so I think you're being very Christ-like in your directionality to wanting to help drug addicts and prostitutes. It's admirable.
It's just it's where my heart's at because it's so close to home. I back in the days when it was me being a madam or me, you know, I had gotten arrested. It was a misdemeanor, but I took the charge for a guy. I could see them doing that because they never tell on the guy.
Right. Yeah.
They get pimped and he gets away. He runs.
Right.
How is he really protecting them
He's not.
if he lets a cup get in there to begin with?
Yeah.
So it's my mission to help people like me because I've been on the streets. I've been on the lowest drugs as well.
Yeah.
And so now we have this killer fentanyl and you know, we got girls that are pregnant and they're feeding their babies this stuff.
Yeah, unknowingly. Well, they know it, but like they're hooked, so they can't get off it. So
it's not enough for them to get off of it.
Yeah.
So it's there's so many people that need help. That I remember, I don't know if I told you this, that the best church that I found when I was traveling was in Oklahoma City.
Uh-huh.
It's called the Oklahoma City Restoration Church. They found me in Walmart parking lot and gave me the little sticker, and I donated. And I went to their church, and I said, "You help women?" "No, we help men." And it clicked to me right there. Boom. If more men took the lead biblically as head of household and did their manly king duties, a king goes to work, provides, protects, then there'd be less women and children in trouble. We would solve a whole lot of crisis right there.
Yeah. If men were men, there were a lot of issues we just wouldn't have.
We would not. It's just so I went to the church and these guys, they looked very rough, but they were speaking in tongues and I could feel their hearts, man. I can feel them. I could feel their intentions. I could feel them. I can just the Holy Ghost filled me up, and the preacher was preaching like he was an old school OG too. And let me tell you, I was feeling it. I was there. I was in it.
Yeah, the corporate Baptist in me would not have liked the tongues, but you know, it is what it is.
I don't know. So I've looked at tongues a little bit, and they tried to get me to speak in tongues at one church in Dallas. And I just told him, I said, look, when God wants me to do it, I'm not saying it's wrong because the lady was doing it, right? And I don't feel like I feel like, from what I understand, that's a private discussion between you and God.
I mean, it's definitely not anything that should make you feel any kind of way about it.
But I never understood what they were saying. Yeah. So there's that. It wasn't me. I wasn't the third person in the room to understand it. So they even do it when they're by themselves, from what I understand. And so they do it when they're in a crowd of people, but who understands it? Like, where's that one person? Isn't one person supposed to understand it? So I've looked it up, and I'm not saying it's fake. I'm saying when God wants me to do it, He's going to have me do it. And that's where I'm at with tongues. I'm not for it or against it. Actually, I'm for it, because if you're feeling the Holy Spirit and you speak tongues, I am all for it. I just haven't been there, but I've definitely got down in church with just the tears and the hands held high. I remember the hurricane came, and one of my kids, I was at his house, and the tree fell right above my head.
Which hurricane? Katrina?
No. It was the one just recently, Michael. Hurricane.
Oh yeah.
Just a couple months ago. It was in May
Normally, when people from the area you're from talk about a hurricane, they talk about the hurricane, which was Katrina.
Oh no, this one. Yeah. But the tree fell right where I was, but he had a brick home.
Yeah.
Had I been in an A-frame house, I would have been dead.
Yeah.
So my nephew went to church with us.
Okay.
And I remember him holding my hand so tight because there was no electric for 10 days. Mm-hmm. He held my hand so tight. You know, she's pregnant. They got 3 other kids. I'm trying to hold it together. I'm trying to go here. I went to I slept at 3 different people's houses. It was just so uncomfortable just knowing, you know, it was a really special moment that we were in church and we were holding on to each other.
Nice. Those family moments, you can't replace those.
No. I started writing in my life journal the other day to my kids. Yeah. And just letting them know, always be close together, always have each other, because my sister's gone. Mm-hmm. And I'll never get over it. Yeah. Never. There's never going to be a day. Yeah. Over 20-something years, and never going to be a day. So, and then, what were we talking about? The woman that had...
Oh, gosh.
100. Is it called a 100 something?
Was it 100 or 1,000?
She wanted to do 1,000. She did 100. What was her name? I think it was Lily.
Lily?
If you just Google "a woman sleeps with 100 men."
Yeah, I slept with 100 men in one day. Her name is Lily Phillips.
Lily Phillips.
Lily Phillips.
I just don't know what she's gaining.
So, I know what she gained. Like, she gained a documentary deal. So, it's essentially content for her. Like, it's because she did that. She's got a documentary coming out that like Netflix is gonna pick up.
Oh wow!
That's why she did it. She did it for clout.
But when she left the room, she started crying, and Candace Owens was like, "That's the game. You leave out and you cry like you're the victim."
What would Candace Owens know about anything?
Especially about sleeping with that many men.
Candace Owens doesn't know anything about anything. If you listen to that woman talk, she sounds smart. She is actually functional.
I just like her biblical views.
She doesn't have biblical views. She has hateful views. She may have that whole trad wife perspective.
Yes.
But I don't really know that the whole trad wife thing is biblical. Yes.
Well, I wonder about that. And I wonder if she makes more money than her husband because she's constantly on the air.
She might. But, I mean, her husband makes a lot of money too, from what I understand. I really don't care about money, so, you know, whatever.
Those Brits are kind of...
But her... If you listen to some of her takes and some of her thoughts about things, and then you compare them to what we actually know, like, you can hear her... Okay, here's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard Candace Owens say. She's talking to Joe Rogan, and this is back when Joe Rogan would talk about some leftist point of views.
Right.
But Joe Rogan is currently a guy who believes in man-made climate change.
Right.
And Candace Owens does not in any way. Anyway, she doesn't know the difference between weather and climate. But she's talking to him, and he's citing a source. And actually, this information is from scientificamerica.com. She goes, "Oh, I don't believe that." Well, why? She said, "Oh, because it's a .com and making money off of it. If it was a .org, I would believe it." I'm like, she doesn't even know how the internet works and that anybody can register a .com or a .org.
Well, I have a .com, Christian304.com.
Right, yeah.
If anyone needs to leave their name and number, I will call you back and pray with you, and we will figure it out. We will figure it out.
Yeah, you can drop a prayer request on there, or...
I mean, they don't... I'd rather talk to them and pray with them.
Right, yeah.
And we'll figure it out. Yeah. You know, anything that I can do from my end of calling and searching and seeking. If someone is feeling down or feeling weak, just keep them on the phone and keep them healthy, even if I had to get an ambulance to them.
Right.
You know, but
zap them some Narcan.
But yeah, so the Phillips girl, well, I just wish her the best.
I mean,
I hope that she ends up finding God too, but I hope that for everybody. I think it's becoming an ugly, sexualized world, and I'm part of it, and I can't wait till I'm not.
Right.
There's going to be a day where I'm not. And I, like I got robbed of my retirement. That was a solid plan. And so I had set aside and I did this thing and I worked for it and it was mine. It was in my hands and it was taken from me. And it's, now I'm just picking up the pieces and saying, God, where do you want me?
Hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, it was.
Tell you what, when you retire, though, we're going to have a no mo ho party.
What does that mean?
No mo ho.
Oh my gosh, I've never heard of that. Oh my God, I thought you meant no homo. I was like, are you changing on me? What the heck? Oh my God, no mo. Well, I often say I don't have a 401k plan.
You don't have a 401k.
401k plan. So I have to do something and figure it out. I have my candle business and I always put my link underneath. And hopefully that will do something and I make some really nice gifts. And I'm going to be putting some baskets on there for Valentine's Day. So I'm kind of excited about that. But you guys, thank you for joining again. We're freebasing since, TikTok went off 3 minutes before. We should have downloaded the video. It was such a good video, too. She was such a pretty girl. And it's so hard to see someone where I am or where I was and I don't.
Stuff.
Huh?
She knew her stuff.
Oh, she was definitely in the game for a long time to know it. I know my stuff, but I just am not in the stuff.
Yeah.
And that's, I'm not in the lifestyle.
Yeah,
and that I often say, I do the job, not the lifestyle. Because my hour, you know me, I'm like granny hours. Yeah. By 9:30, I'm in my pajamas. In fact, I got my pajama pants on now. Don't laugh. By 9:30, I'm in my pajamas. I'm in front of the TV. I'm just like living my best life.
Well, you red flagged the DJ thing real quick, and after you said something, I said, "Wait a minute, that is true. That's exposure.
That's an environment.
Yeah. That's
especially with people knowing what she does. Then they're trying to pick her up. Then there's this thing to where they know you're a 304. They try to pick you up for free. It's like a pat on the back. It's an attaboy.
I mean, she said she cross promotes.
It's she did say that she gets a lot of gigs from her clients.
Yeah.
So I wish her the best. She's a pretty girl. There's it's just not all it's cracked up to be, like she said.
Yeah.
You have to have very thick skin. You cannot get your feelings hurt. Right. Your feelings will get hurt worse than anything. You can put yourself in dangerous situations. I've done it all. And now I'm at a time I stop at 9:30. I do not care. Get the heck out of here. 9:29. That's it. That's you have to have standards and rules.
Right.
You have to. And I hope one day that I can be out of this and have standards for someone I'm dating. And maybe they would find me up to the standards of who they want because my past is my past. We'll see.
We'll see.
Well, thank you for joining, everybody. And until the next one, maybe TikTok will be back up or we'll get on Lemonade and find something.